Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Sanya, and in today's video I just thought of sharing a few things that I've quit in my life which added a lot of meaning and a lot of energy into my life. It's kind of something that has truly given my whole day a shape. So let's begin with point number 1 that I have quit to live a more meaningful life is that I have stopped wasting the first 2 morning hours. So I make sure before I engage with the world around me, I have done my soul's work, which gives me a lot of energy in the morning. And the most important thing is that I do not engage myself into consuming any negative news, any social media in the morning, not even replying to anyone's text apart from my husband's, and I do not engage with anyone else's emotions. When you meditate in the morning, it is essential that you do not engage with any worldly thing around you. Just be with your own energy and just try to reflect upon who you actually are. So, I feel the people who are following me on this channel and are also on the journey of meditating, or maybe they're just thinking about meditation, here is a very beautiful tip for you that if you want to do it, get up, take a shower, because when we sleep, our energy is completely stagnant, but when we take a shower, it becomes positive. And then when we sit for meditating, it becomes very easy for us to really focus where focus onto the positive things of our life. So moving on to the next point, second thing is also related to the first point, but it's a little different, that I've stopped prioritizing other people over myself. And there is a very strong reason behind it, that I have recently quit my IT job and I was pursuing it for almost 10 years. I quit it because I want to create something in my life that is designed by myself. And if I am not in charge, if somebody else is taking up my precious time, it would work just like my office. Quitting my job was not easy, but it kind of also gave me a direction in life, that if I'm taking this huge step, I make sure that I respect my decision and I take care of the time that I have. So I definitely deprioritize a lot of things in my life which do not align with my long-term goal, even if it's very difficult to say no to others. I do it. I take that hard step and I do it. So I keep talking about my long-term goal all the time, and I'm kind of very specific that you should know the purpose of your life and all that. So my long-term goal that I feel gives me a lot of energy is reading all the Hindu texts, like Hindu philosophy, Bhagavad Gita, Vedantas, the Upanishads, the Puranas. And I am somebody who is not very well versed with Hindi as well. So I'm learning it slowly and I'm enjoying the time that I'm spending reading about all those things. So this is what I do. I make sure that I'm taking out some time throughout my day to learn more about Hindu philosophy, also apply it in my life. The third thing that I've quit is overthinking and not accepting life as it comes. I know I've just mentioned that I deprioritize, I do not engage with people and all those things, but sometimes life has its own plans. And if you become very rigid with your own thoughts, that this is what I want to do and I can't do anything else apart from this, then sometimes you will feel a lot of resistance from outside of the world. That's why I feel that you should also be a little accommodating with people around you. Sometimes you have to take that hard step of saying no, but most of the times we can just accept the things as long as it's not impacting us in an extremely negative way. So if something goes just in the opposite direction, which I never envisaged before, I don't try to overcomplicate things and just overthink a lot about that I'm not able to do the things that I want to do in case I'm not able to, and I appreciate it as it is coming my way. For example, currently it's Diwali time, it's festive times, we have to meet a lot of people, we have to go shopping, we have to do a lot of chores in the house, and it's something that I'm taking as a transition time from my quitting the office and going full time into this YouTube as a career. So I'm just taking it as very positively for me right now. The fourth thing that I've quit is, and it's something not which is very recent, I've quit it I think from a very long time back, I do not consume more than I create. and I make sure that during the day, even if I'm reading, let's say, 10 lines in the book, I'm able to apply it in my life. And if I'm just reading it just for the heck of it, and just for maybe just gaining the knowledge of all the worldly affairs, I believe it's kind of a waste of my time and energy, because it'll just keep on sitting in the corner of my head and it'll not be of any useful information for me. And I don't consume news. That's one thing. And I do not read a lot of books. I just stick to only a few books, maybe just one or two in like 4 or 5 months, and I make sure that until I have perfected it, I do not move on to the next one. And sometimes even one book takes even more than a year for me to really grasp. I am a slow learner and I really appreciate it. I don't want to rush in life understanding everything, knowing everything, and just being swamped with a lot of information which I don't know what to do about. I feel the less information I have, best I'm able to apply it, and the more happy I'll be. So fifth thing that I've quit is collecting things in my life. I used to be a hoarder of all things beautiful, and it used to be very difficult for me to let them go because I added a lot of meaning to each and everything in my life. In past 1 or 2 years, I've seen myself changing a lot, not because of any minimalism trend that is going around, but because it feels very natural to me. Although I still not call myself minimalist at all, I still have a lot of things, but I kind of am letting go of them slowly and gradually. But I can connect to empty spaces more now compared to a place which is full of things and clutter. So that's something that I've seen in my life. The sixth thing that I've quit in my life is engaging with people who drain energy. It has taken me almost 10 years to really understand this topic deeply, and has changed my life a lot. And I feel that I have now mastered the art of how to deal with negative people. This is something I've already created a playlist and I'll link it above. I think it's a very helpful playlist that I've created for everyone. What I feel and what I've observed and what I've realized in my life is that everything and everyone around us are either giving us energy, or they're taking energy from away from us, or maybe they're neutral. So there are people who drain our energy, and it is possible one person is energy draining for me, maybe it's not energy draining for you. So we have to be wise enough to understand who are those people who can impact us, and how can we protect ourselves, how much to engage with such people, and why not to engage with such people so much that it becomes a hurdle in our life. And even if I find somebody who is energy draining and I have to still engage with them for some purpose, I make sure that I have set enough boundaries with them, that I'm able to speak my truth, that what is allowed and what is not allowed in my life, and what is not allowed is violence in my life with respect to words, actions, or deed. Because earlier I used to be a very timid person, and I used to allow people to say things, say very mean things, and I used to just ignore them. Now I don't do that. I just have a no tolerance to violence policy in my life, and I think we should all follow it in life, so that you are able to keep your energy intact and utilize it into the things that matter to you. Seventh thing that I've quit is I have stopped trying to be extraordinary. I know I am an ordinary person, and I just appreciate myself for whoever I am. I have my flaws, I have my positive sides as well. So I don't try to become perfect in all aspects of my life, which I earlier used to do. And I feel it was all because of my mental conditioning, where I felt that I wasn't good enough in life. That's why I used to overperform, overcompensate for the negative things around me. I tried to make a lot of peace around me, even if the situation demanded some sort of a action in life. And I just don't do that anymore. I know I have my limits, and when you know that you have your limits, you kind of start respecting your limits in life. And I think that has changed a lot of things. People have started to expect a little less from me. Like earlier, I had given them more expectation out of myself, and I used to take a lot of pressure to that somebody else is expecting me to perform well in office and do all the work that is given to me. I used to do all of that, and extending extra help to people in even in the office, and also stretching myself to late hours to overperform or something like that. I don't do it, and all of those things, respecting who I truly was and what are my limitations, what is it that I truly want in life. All of those things led me into quitting my job first of all, so that I don't have to fake it anymore. And also in other aspects and other areas of my life, I am seeing that those changes are kind of flowing in naturally, and I don't give a lot of hope to other people that they can expect a lot of things from me. And I think this happens when you practice speaking your truth. First time it will be very difficult. If you're somebody who's just like me and you're still struggling with those things, because I've seen there are a lot of people, and it's a difficult phase of your mental conditioning where you know the right thing, you know that you don't have to overperform, you don't have to help others to the level that you'll just give away your own precious time, but you are kind of helpless and you are not able to speak your truth. There is a mental block that you can't cross. So I have been there, and I feel it can only be broken down when you take one step at a time. You have to just take first step of doing the opposite of your own nature. The first time it will be a lot of resistance because of the mental conditioning that you have, but you know that you're doing the right thing. And the moment you start doing that, an opposite amount of willpower will be generated, and it'll negate your older patterns. And that is when you start having confidence in your life, and that is when you become fearless as well in life. So take that first step, no matter how hard it is. First time will be difficult, but the second time it will be easier, and it'll become a second nature to you. The easiest way to live our life is by being who you truly are, but it takes a lot of efforts initially to become who you are, and then it becomes easy. So that phase when you're transitioning from your old self to your new self is difficult, but after that your life changes for good. That's all for today's video, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching.